Everybody is out there asking me my best Nimrod deck I've found so far, so I am going to do my best today to give it to you with something a little bit more unconventional than what you may have seen from a number of other content creators. I am going to preface this with a necessary statement that, well, is this going to happen to you? Oh man, why does this card exist? Why do I bother, man? Pardon my language, good lord. Yes, unsurprisingly, just about every Nimrod deck we tried to brew with during yesterday's live stream were very, very soft to leech, and as a result, the deck kind of feels a bit clunky and definitely loses a lot of cubes in games where you kind of feel priced into not retreating because you beat most things that aren't leech, but you lose pretty badly to it. And as a result of that, this deck is kind of ignoring Leech's existence. We are going to basically lose to Leech nearly always, but not always. Not always. There's a little game in the video for you to check out for that one. And as a result, we're really leaning into making sure we are the best we can be against every other deck in the room than Thanos Lockjaw, and kind of improving our matchup against that deck elsewhere for when they don't draw Leech. Welcome to Sera Nimrod. This is a deck I've really kind of not seen anyone else talking about. It's something I brewed up and shared on Twitter, and many people were super interested in exactly how this works. So today, I'm showing you some really good games with this deck to show you why I think it maybe can have at least a chance to climb on this ladder if it can fade the leeches that are out there currently. If you're not familiar with Nimrod, it is our new Season Pass card. It's a 5-cost, 5-power card that when it is destroyed, adds a copy of itself to every other location. Now, for the most part, doing this on turn 6 just once really isn't good enough. 5 power across the board makes you into a kind of bad Doctor Doom, and that's definitely an effect that's worth exploring, but for the most part, it is pretty weak. So we have to utilize the power of other cards to get it across the line. We're looking at Sera, of course, one of my favorite cards in the game to enable some absolutely disgusting combos you shouldn't be able to do based on how things cost. Sera allows us to reduce Nimrod's cost down to 4 on turn 6, meaning we can pair it with a combination of cards to allow us to have a much bigger burst turn, more akin to something like Sera Miracle. The one you're going to be looking for the majority of the time is a combination of Forge and Carnage. Forge will allow us to add an extra 2 power to our copy of Nimrod, making it worth 7, and then Carnage will let us clear it away and put 7 power into every other lane, making it into a superior Doctor Doom in the long run, assuming we've already built up a lane we're happy to win with cards like Bishop. That is kind of the end game combo you'll find yourself with on a certain number of occasions, but for the most part, the power of this deck comes from its flexibility and being able to enact a variety of game plans. You'll see in the games featured that Nimrod has the ability to just pair very well with Carnage and Venom on turn 6, so we have the ability to play Nimrod on 5 into Nova, Carnage and Venom on 2 separate lanes on turn 6, and just destroy Nimrod multiple times on the final turn to spread multiple bodies over the board. That's something we can also do with this deck. Sera also enables us to be a reactive deck at our core, letting us play cards like Killmonger and Shang-Chi that are notoriously powerful against some of the best decks in the format right now, and keep them until that final turn, pairing them with something else for that big power burst. When we're looking to play as many cards as we can on turn 6, sometimes thanks to Sera, it also helps that we get to explore cards like Carnage and Bucky Barnes in our shell naturally that already want to be there as they're very powerful to play on the final turn. Sometimes just playing Shang-Chi on one lane and Bucky Barnes and Carnage on another is more than enough to win you a game. The Hood's Demon, of course, is very powerful in this deck, cheap 1-cost card to fill a lane while clearing the Hood away with many of your destroy effects. And then last but not least here that we haven't talked about, we have Okoye in the deck. This is kind of the flex slot right now, and definitely the card I'm least sure of. In fact, I'm mostly sure it should be something else. I just don't really know what it is so far. I wanted to find another cheap card I could play on the last turn of the game on Sera games that also could potentially add extra points of power to my Nimrod if I drew it before Nimrod, and that has come up and has definitely been relevant in some games that we've played, but I don't think the card quite fits, and I am willing to explore other cards in that slot. Otherwise, I'm really happy with what this deck is capable of doing against decks that aren't start leeching you. And you can definitely take games off of Lockjaw Thanos, including a really big 8-cube game you're going to see later in this video. If you do enjoy this type of content, you've got to let me know. Make sure you leave a comment down below about how you feel about the season so far, whether you think this deck has what it takes to be able to at least climb up the ladder, even though it is definitely not a tier 1 choice. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for me here at Marvel Snap Zone so you aren't missing out on our daily content here over on YouTube. With all that said, enjoy the games, and I'll see you again very soon. Have a good one. Nidavellir. We find our Nimrod. Arguably a turn, well, 2 turns too early, I guess. The Okoye now not getting the bonus on it, which is fine. At least we have it. Wakanda is not a thing that we wanted, however. That makes our life a little more awkward. We'll fire the Okoye here. Oh boy, more Thanos. So glad the ladder is so diverse right now. So very enjoyable. Okay, we have a Carnage to get things underway on the Nimrod. Puddle Soulstone. We're very much looking for the Killmonger here. The Killmonger is unfortunately kind of the key to this matchup. Alright, well. Time to get leeched, chat. Very much in need of a Killmonger right about now. We find the Shang-Chi instead. We'll do what we can, but like, I can't retreat here. If this is anything but leech, I think it's winnable. Even if it is leech, a Killmonger makes it winnable. So we're going to give up a second cube here a lot of the time. Okay, sadly, the She-Hulk is safe from this Shang-Chi off the back of the fact that it is hidden away in Wakanda. That being said, I think this is good enough to snap back. But I have to fill every location before I proc the Nimrod to play around Aero. Perfect. Stopped and thought about it. Played around the arrow like we had to. Get some extra stats on this Nimrod. Crack it and send it across. All 3 lanes. 8-cube win. Thanos Lockjaw. Killmonger, folks. Put more Killmongers in your deck. Alright. Again, usually want to hold the Nova here. We find our Nimrod with a little bit of Elysium for extra added oomph. Good to see. Opponent passing on 2 when there's Elysium in play is also kind of terrifying. But that's okay. We can go to work here. Elysium doing a good Sera impression. There are now rocks in my deck, courtesy of Rockslide. So my opponent is about to get a Nimrod, which is quite funny. We are about to get a turn 7, which is maybe slightly problematic, actually. We juice the Nimrod up. as best we can. And then it will be time to go to work with Carnage Venom. Probably the Nova in the middle there too, I imagine. Opponent with the Dark Orc. Makes a lot of sense. We gain ourselves a nice free demon and a free rock. The free rock is also fine. Think I'm snapping. Opponent with their free Doctor Doom. Well, not free, but cheap Doctor Doom. Send the Nimrod around. Venom, send the Nimrod around again. Gain a good chunk of stats in the process. We find Sera. Okay. Chance I should have just fired the Shang-Chi here, to be honest. Little scared of getting leeched. I think I deserve it this time if I do. But given that I don't look like I did, this is pretty much just a guaranteed Shang-Chi win on the left. It's just making sure you can win another lane. But we should be gold here. The hammer indeed will change not very much. Wow, imagine winning all 3 lanes. Nice. That's a really sweet game to take off of Darkhawk. Elysium definitely kind of super powered our plan, but it was a pretty good example of what you're capable of doing. Doing a good Sera impression for you. Again, really nice early destroy game here is quite nice. The Killmonger also a decent addition for specifically these squirrels popping out of everywhere. Koye is kind of tempting here before we draw the Nimrod or anything else. Kind of want to fire this while I have the chance. Probably will get Icy. Icy's the Bucky. Makes me kind of sad. I was hoping to go turn 3 Killmonger, turn 4 Bucky Carnage, but that is now not going to be happening, and losing the Killmonger there really sucks. Opponent losing their Sera is a bit easier to stomach, I suppose. We'll get the Bishop on the table. Opponent will Polaris a Squirrel into a Stark Tower. Sure. Opponent would like to snap. Really hoping to draw this Nimrod here, I think. Pretty desperate for it. Opponent will Brood, so we've got some Surfer shenanigans going on the other side. Surfer shenanigans are always nice. There is the Nimrod. Okay. Ugh, come on.
All systems go.
Ugh. That really sucks. I wasn't expecting Arrow out of the Brood deck, to be honest. Maybe I should have been. Now we're only getting to 24 here. Surfer takes this to 4, 8, 12, 13. We have 6 here potentially. Would be... would be all good. Had to do some thinking. Opponent was violently emoting in our direction, so it took me a second to double check my math, which is the reason we got a little quiet there. This was an interesting little game, right? It actually ended up being a fantastic Nimrod game if it wasn't for our opponent's interaction, but we managed to still have enough stats to pull 2 locations through that interaction, which is, again, kind of reassuring to this deck's ability to win games if it gets interacted with, which is good. That's genuinely reassuring. Okay, finding our Nimrod early here is helpful. Less so when you draw the Okoye straight away afterwards, but that's okay. More Thanos. Oh, it's been a hard time to climb. It's just a lot. Just really hard to stomach the sheer amount of Shuri Zero and Thanos that are like the only things on the ladder right now. It's a shame. It's a real shame. Okay, so I think we go... set the trap as one of the best things we can actually do. Final will Lockjaw. We find the Carnage as well. Can I afford to let them draw cards? I mean, they might just be able to draw cards anyway, because it's a Lockjaw. God knows what it's going to give them. Might even just take the text off of our Nimrod, because that is also very guilty of happening. The Killmonger is safe, at least. I think we try and deprive the card draw. It stops as many nutty Nimrod plays, but... we gotta try, I think. We get waived, sure. At least it's not a leech. We do successfully deprive the card draw, which I'm very happy about. Under wave here, think we're gonna Sera. And set ourselves up, hopefully, to do the full combo. He says, hopefully. Onslaught Citadel certainly helps here, in theory. Gives us double Sera. Why do I bother, man? Pardon my language. Good lord. Why does Leech exist? Alright. Well... again, it's very easy to see the potential here, right? When you get to go Forge into Nimrod, into Venom in the middle, and just, you know, send them across the board, but... instead, we have to somehow hope that stats are good enough. Which, I mean, they might be. Only reason I'll stick around is because they genuinely might be. think we have to try and challenge both lanes. I think. Oh, Leech just makes me want to eat my eyeballs with a spoon. And yeah, I hope I said in the intro, this is the problem with basically all the Nimrod decks right now, is you get leeched and your deck doesn't work, but given that that's an unavoidable fallacy, the best thing we can do is try and win games when it doesn't happen. And to be fair, we win this game anyway, even through the leech. Like, I mean, that's reasonably impressive. But it's still, like, I guess this kind of emphasizes my point about leech more than anything else I can possibly say. Like, I don't even think the card is too good. I just think it creates miserable play experiences. Like, that's not fun, and that's kind of my big issue. Okay. The old Sinister London double forge is going to be pretty hot if we can get it on the Nimrod. Never mind. Never mind. Instead, Sakar pulls my forge into play way before I'd like it to. My opponent gets a devil dinosaur for their troubles. Yes, yes, yes. Well, I guess we have a slightly jacked bishop. It's not really what we were hoping for, but best we can do. Best I can do is $5. So, unsurprisingly, once again, looking for that sweet, sweet Killmonger. Continues to be the best card in our deck in this matchup by a lot. Why is there always a Wakanda? I don't understand. Oh, please make it stop. Alright, well, we've got Sera online. Need a Nova, need a Carnage, need something to get the Nimrod train rolling. We do find the Venom. Okay. This is actually kind of unfortunate, because I can't Shang the dinosaur and have space to Venom. Maybe I do it this way. We're not going to need the Sera, are we? So, but I don't pop the Bucky. Ah, this is unfortunate. All right. Found the Carnage instead. It's unfortunate. No, wait, no, it's not. Not sure if this is enough. Genuinely unsure. It might be. Hecka cool. No Killmonger.
Victory.
No Killmonger, still managed to put up a fight here alongside a cheated out Devil Dinosaur that we didn't have space to Shang-Chi. I'm actually really proud of coming up with this deck. I think it's a very unconventional way to use Nimrod. You can catch a lot of people off guard. You have some really sweet synergies, and clearly from the games played, you can win a good number of games just from not really doing everything. Like, you have the ability to do these high roll turns where you Sera into Nimrod, Carnage, Forge. You can, you know, just Nimrod into Carnage, Venom. You can just Sera into Killmonger, Shang-Chi. And these are all valid ways of winning games against different decks, which is really reassuring, maybe, for what this deck is capable of in general. And I look forward to continuing to refine it. Okoye is definitely the slot I am unsure about, but everything else feels like it's probably kind of needed. So Okoye is the flex slot. Looking forward to figuring out what's supposed to be there. If you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for me so that we can be back doing more Snap content each and every day. But until next time, I've been HowlingMines. You've been amazing, and enjoy some Sera and Nimrod. Have a good one. Take care.